5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into the Skol experience. We do have a little bit of Vikings-related nuggets to talk about, which we'll get into. We can also talk about Wolves in 7. A lot of fun stuff going on being a Minnesota sports fan right now. Fellas, how are we doing this evening?
Sports vibes is in the house.
Hey, what up, Mike? What's up? Oh, I already hit Mike up and asked I forgot, was it earlier in the series? I asked him who he had between the Mavs and the Wolves, and he picked the Wolves. Unfortunately, we'll go in. I mean, we can tap on that a little bit later, but yeah, like what Mike said, Wolves in 7, baby. First time in history.
This is like us playing the fucking Yankees, man, in baseball. We would get screwed all the time. Some bad call, whatever, cost us the game. I mean, some of these were like close calls, but you couldn't really review it, and it like that. I mean, just some of these calls, man. I'm going back and look at them. Terrible,
bro. The McDaniels at the end of game 2,
where Kyrie Irving hit his wrist,
and then it went out of bounds, and they challenged the out of bounds, and then they got the ball back, and that
ball back, and you can't call a foul on that, but you can call an offensive foul. Like you can make something an offensive foul or take it away, but you can't. Yeah. You can't create a foul. That's so crap.
Or when you can review pass interference and the defense does, or the offensive team challenged it, and Delvin Cook somehow gets penalized, and your touchdown gets wiped away. The strange things in the world of officiating when
they make it hard for Minnesota to win something out here.
But,
yeah, the freaking
they played so bad though and won. That's what's crazy.
I know.
I mean, and Cat and up until yesterday, Cat and freaking Ant were terrible
for the most.
Anyway,
the last game. We'll
talk about that a little bit later on. Let's get into the Vikings related news to start.
I'll give them the Vikings or Wolves Central.
Wolves Central. Yeah,
obviously Twins are about to start.
Twins are on a nice little run right now too. Looking good.
So was Cleveland.
Yeah, whatever. Wild card. We'll catch up. Once we trade for Vlad Guerrero, we'll be right there.
Hey, what up, Viker podcast? Welcome in,
man?
Crown Jews. What's going on, my guy? Let's go. We needed him back. He's looking better than
man. Where you
been? Let's go. He pops in once in a while here. What's going on, Crown? Hey, you better be at Skol Fest this year again.
Big news of the day, obviously, on the week before mandatory mini camp. We do have a re-signing. No, it's not Justin Jefferson, but it is Dalton Risner along that offensive line. Now, I believe it was yesterday that Wes Phillips said that Blake Brandel had the starting job. Now, next day you bring in
unopposed.
Right. Yeah. Now, next day you bring in Risner, which was something everybody was kind of waiting for. It almost feels like I'm sure Risner had other offers, but it almost feels like he was holding out for the Vikings to finally offer him a contract. So at the end of the day, they get it done. Worst case scenario, you get competition along the offensive line because Risner can play both guard spots. So could Brandel, I'm sure. So if
Risner's only played left guard.
Yeah, but he can always. They're talking about him having center flexibility. It's like he's one of those. He's a pros.
They did last season. They were kind of saying that because I remember us talking about whether or not he'd come in for Garrett Bradbury or whatever.
But either way,
we were the one good thing about this is that we now have depth because Blake Brandel has played both positions.
All good, bud.
And he's played left tackle, so him as a backup is nice to have. But he's not. Risner is not that much better, in my opinion. He's a better pass blocker, but Brandel has those skills. Neither of them are that great against the run.
Right.
So, yeah. It's more of we got now. To me, that's good.
Right.
Veteran.
Hey,
obviously, then if you're going to work in a young quarterback, I feel like you do want guys that are more proficient at pass than run blocking. So
that's my view too, is that hey, this is a little bit safer.
For sure.
Yeah, 1 second here. Crown, did you say you were from North Carolina? That was just a random question. But anyways, back to this. Yes, so that's one interesting about Blake Brandel, because that whole conversation with what's his name? What's the offensive coordinator?
Wes Phillips.
Wes Phillips was talking about was just that they're seeing the progression and seeing that he should have his shot. And I know that Dave really liked him last.
I thought he should have started over Ed Ingram.
Ed Ingram, yeah. So you were really liking him. So I mean, that's the one thing about him. Like, there is a chance that he is just ready. Like, I'm not with Dalton Risner coming back. I think he'd probably. I think there's going to be competition there for sure. I don't think he's coming back and he's just going to get the job, because I don't know why it would have taken this long for us to go grab him.
Or are they happy to see the progression in Brandel? And they're looking at Ingram and saying, "Wow, this guy has just not gotten any better since last year." So
I feel like we would have heard something.
Is this more of a move to place Brandel at right guard and Risner at left guard, and then keep the rest of the line?
I think it's depth, really, man. I don't think they liked our depth.
Depth and competition is the biggest thing.
They drafted a rookie guard really late, and brought in a UDFA or something like that. Yeah. A UDFA. No, they brought in a guard.
Yep, they drafted
center.
Which they really liked. If you watch that video, that Jurgens.
Yeah, they thought they could have got him at one. They almost thought about taking him 177. They took the kicker instead.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how he turns out, because it seemed like that was just their guy. Battle. Yeah, it's going to be a camp battle.
Between
got you.
Probably our only camp battle, a cornerback. Probably cornerback.
Well, I mean, there's the camp, you say corner or quarter?
Oh, corner.
Oh, because they're saying quarterback camp battle.
That's
I don't know how I feel. You think it's at this point, it's just Sam Darnold. Rookies. Unless they're
except for Ed Ingram. He had a pass for some reason.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, who else?
We don't start rookies.
No other options.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I don't know.
I did have one person tell me, and that makes sense, is that, hey, it's a tough early schedule. That, San Francisco the first game or second game.
Scapegoat Sam Darnold.
Sounds like he's looking pretty good, but I guess he always looks good around this time of the year.
Ian Rappaport, I quoted him. He shines in shorts.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's short.
Exactly.
It's shorts, practice jerseys, and shoulder pads and helmets. Like, there's not a lot you can really judge off that.
I forgot if it was Will Raggett or something that posted Sam Darnold throws a dime to whoever, and I'm like, yeah, it was amazing how he sidestepped that rush and made that pass, and there was no rush. I mean, it was 7-on-7, and I'm like, oh man, the way he sidestepped that rush and made the right read was amazing.
But then when it's JJ McCarthy, every throw he has, it's like, all right.
Super Bowl, God, look at that 5-yard out. It's amazing.
Yeah, dude, that was the best 5-yard out I've seen ever. No, it is. I
put one when his first practice. I was like, he was going against air, and he threw a fade to a guy, and he caught it. And I'm like, and it looked like 3/4 speed, and I'm like. And I just put googly eyes, JJ McCarthy, and then the look eyes. And my God, the reactions people get. Like, God, he's amazing. Oh my God, look at that.
Yeah, I know, dude. Your tweet, I still see your tweet. Like, every day I look for JJ McCarthy tape. Your tweet's always up.
I'm barely posting, but then I would get the other side. You guys are freaking out over little shit like this. I'm like, all I did was say, look, JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Daniel?
If you can't execute throws like on a consistent basis in practice with no defenders in your face, you're probably not going to be an NFL quarterback, right? So
probably not.
It's one of those things. You want to see highlights. You want to see your quarterback throwing the ball, because I mean, if he looks bad, then you're worried. But the fact that he's looking pretty good, it's like, okay, feeling good. And then I know they're saying he's developing well. They're really working on his footwork right now. It sounds like that's the biggest thing that they're kind of harping on him for right now, which is a good thing. So
yeah, right.
I remember last year in preseason, like, Kirk threw one in the dirt, and the whole fucking Twitter went nuts.
What up, Barber?
Almost like his the gender reveal party where he threw the one at the bottom of the target, and they're like, "Here's our quarterback, can't execute a gender reveal balloon toss."
Yeah, dude. Let's go. Hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully, JJ McCarthy. I mean, stuff is looking good, but it's so hard. You just don't really get anything out of camp this time of the year until media can go there, which I believe. I think they might be able to go there.
They've been let in on some things.
on some things. Like, but we're not seeing a lot. Like, there's like 3 JJ McCarthy clips out there, and Dave has one of them.
Yeah. When is mandatory minicamp next Thursday? It's the 6th, right?
The 6th and the 9th.
Yeah,
well, I think that's a Thursday. Yeah. Well, I mean, which I'm sure they probably all get there Thursday and they practice Friday and over the weekend. I'm sure.
So that should be interesting. And I guess
that's the biggest Justin Jefferson. Like, if he's not there,
I was gonna say this could be a good segue into. Justin
then you could
Jefferson.
get so if JJ's not here for the beginning of mandatory minicamp, you can get. I mean, again, I don't think it's a full blown alarm because I think they're still working on the contract, which we've heard. So I mean, it's concerning to an extent if he's not, because he showed up for mandatory minicamp last year. But at the same time, like, if a deal's not done, if I'm him, like, I know that they could potentially fine him because it is mandatory. But if he doesn't show up for that, again, like, I personally don't blame him, because I said I don't think he should practice with any contact or anything at all until that deal is done. If I was him, just because at this point,
just get it done.
Who thinks
like it's coming.
like I wouldn't risk, and especially after last year with the injuries, I wouldn't risk any sort of injury until you're paid. But again, it all depends on who's the one holding his back, which I don't believe anything I'm hearing right now, because it's May. There's nothing else to talk about, so they just say what they want. But it'd be a little more concerning if he's not here for mandatory minicamp. But again, I don't think it's any full blown. It shouldn't be like full blown alarms if he's not here.
So 2 people have said something to me, and it kind of makes sense.
I did not know that.
One on air, and then one in like a private conversation, and they believe that the deal is done, that they're just waiting for his paternity suit to finish. What do you guys think of that?
I mean, if I'm him, I want to get paid before the paternity. Oh no, yeah, I do want to wait till after. Before. Yeah, I don't want to sign no contract and have a bunch of money when they're gonna. I can see that,
dude. That would make some sense. I wonder where I forgot. I mean, we haven't heard anything on that.
Because remember the Miami Heat coach that got divorced, and he didn't sign. He worked for basically free until his divorce was finalized, and then they paid him back.
Yeah. So
this is story. This is paternity. So I'm just like, I don't know. It's a short term fix, maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, if you have a kid out there, if you have a kid out there, like, you're gonna be paying up money regardless, no matter.
Yeah, it's a short term fix, and it delays the inevitable, because you can always take him back to court and reevaluate his
in that
earnings.
scenario. I don't know. I would probably say I call BS on that. Probably.
Maybe you give us an Ohtani contract.
That'd be nice.
10 years, then we start paying it.
I don't think the NFL lets you do that.
Oh no!
I wish baseball lets you do whatever you want.
It's not really void years, I guess. Maybe it is kind of void years at that point. It's like at the end of the deal, we'll pay him more money.
Albert Bell, Albert Pujols. Who was it?
I thought you were gonna say Putin for a second. I'm like, what are we talking about now? We still talking sports?
Baseball.
Pujols.
Because they're still paying. I forget what's his name for the Mets.
Oh, Bobby Bonilla.
Yeah, the Bobby Bonilla Day.
Yeah, what 1.3 million every year.
In actuality, it actually works good for the team, because the inflation since then, they're not paying him any more.
Yeah. They're still just paying him, but
they're just paying him, but they're not paying him anymore. And that money's back then was worth more than it is now.
Well, their big thing is too, like, if Ohtani wins them 3 World Series in his however many year contracts, like, money well spent, right? Yeah. Like,
if he
cares
does
at that point.
But don't they suck?
I mean, the
Dodgers. I think
Dodgers. No, they're good.
It's the Dodgers. I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking about the Angels.
They were ending anyway with the Angels.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is he goes to the Dodgers and they get just completely stacked. Here's Mike's question here. Do you think Dwayne McBride will get some playing time this season? I really hope we run the rock a lot more.
I mean, I think the fact they didn't outright cut him last year, I think, shows a little something that maybe they still see something there. They just needed him to develop a little more.
Yeah. And the fact that we didn't draft another running back or grab one out, right? Did we grab one from undraft? Maybe we did.
I don't think so, no.
I don't think we, So, I don't know. I think I like McBride a lot when we grabbed him, and I was not impressed. I don't know. He seems too slow.
He got better from the first game to the next one. But he hasn't shown. He'll get a lot more play this year in preseason, because they're not going to play Aaron Jones very much.
No.
Who do we have out below Ty Chandler, and I guess you could say McBride.
Kenny.
We still got the
I
same.
totally forgot about him.
Yeah. Aaron Jones.
One
Ty
second
Chandler,
here,
Kenny.
before moving on, everybody in here, another JJ McCarthy, Michigan rookie card. Get the hashtag Skols in the comments, like the video, and subscribe if you have not already. Hey, what up, Bob? Hey, what up, Skol Mafia? Get the hashtag Skols in here for the JJ McCarthy rookie card.
Viker podcast, put that one up.
So you think after the new kickoff rule, he gets?
No, I don't. The new kickoff rule is the reason why we keep Kenny.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, they're going to be 10 yards, right? They're not getting a run at him. They're not going to be able to stagger like they would.
Well, and you want the run, because if you kick it in that drop zone or whatever, like you want them to field the ball there. So I mean, I think this is going to rate. Yeah, I think this increases value. I'm not impressed with Kenny as a running back at all. But I think this definitely ups his value as a return man for sure.
With the fact that now you have a running back returning kicks, almost like a run play, instead of like
is Sherfield? Was that the undrafted receiver we got?
Yeah, he's
last year.
No, we got him
signed
from the Bills.
He was a free
Bills
agent
guy. Yeah.
Who was the guy? I thought there was a guy out of Kansas State.
But he's a returner,
receiver, who was also a returner. What was his name? I thought he was out last year with an injury, but I thought we got him on an undrafted free agency.
Thayer?
Yes, that guy. Yeah, I think that's the one.
From 2 years ago.
Was it 2 years ago?
From 2 years ago, from Appalachian State.
Oh, I'm thinking of the Kansas State.
I think
he was a kick returner. He was a punt kick returner, but he ran a 4.7.
Powell's just all right as a punt. I mean, I like him. He's probably the better punt returner.
Yeah, Malik Knowles. You're right.
Malik Knowles. That's the guy I was thinking of.
Malik Knowles, yeah.
I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Sherfield's got that. He got that JJ McCarthy catch. If he can handle a JJ McCarthy ball, his hands are pretty good.
Oh, we need a punt returner. So
yeah. And then it sounds like what's his name? Dave, your guy, showing out again. Naylor.
Jalen Naylor.
Yeah, I got my hopes up again.
Yeah, it'll be interesting where that wide receiver room will end up. I know there's
he's
people
good,
talking
man,
about
to stay healthy.
There's people talking about us trading for Trey Burke. No, Traylon Burke. Yeah. Traylon Burks. Yeah.
I mean, I saw that because they have
Hopkins. We can't trade anything. Right? We got 3 picks next year.
That's what do we need them for?
What do we
don't need those. We got JJ McCarthy and Dallas Turner. We're good.
Yeah.
But they're saying like a 7th round pick. They're saying which I would do for him. We liked him a lot, and he's injury prone, so he hasn't had a real chance. But I would have taken my chance on him because unless one of these undrafted free agents ends up working out, which I know we have a couple that a lot of people do like.
Yeah.
I like Powell, but I don't think Powell's going to be he's a great wide receiver 4. He shouldn't really be a wide receiver 3. So we're still, we were in this situation when we had Stephon Diggs and we had Adam Thielen we need a wide receiver 3. And then we had Justin Jefferson and Thielen. We need a wide receiver 3.
Yeah, because with them, we had a guy who I actually think is very similar to Powell. I mean, not from a return man perspective, but Jalen Wright? Was that his name? What was his name? Not Jalen Wright.
Jarius Wright.
Jarius, right? Hey, because he was kind of that. Because Powell came up with a lot of big 3rd and 4th down catches last year, and that's what Jarius Wright always did. He was the guy.
Yeah, I always said all he does is catch first downs.
Yeah. So I mean, he kind of remind me of each other, but you always thought he's not our number 3.
Yeah. I liked how Powell looked. I mean, he looked really good with it was with Mullins, right? Specifically, or who was it? Was it with Mullins or I think? I mean,
he had a couple catches with Dobbs that were nice.
He did step up, right. But this guy, you're talking about a player who's how old is Powell? What, 28? I mean, he's been in the league for a bit here for him to all of a sudden be he could kind of break out, but I don't know. I kind of look at him as a low end wide receiver 3 at this point.
So I think we lead the league in wide receivers brought in from Mercer College.
We have to do this year, right?
Everron Harper and Ty James from Mercer.
Yeah.
Are they going to make the team?
From that school?
I
know. Who's the one that everybody – is it Mercer that everybody likes? Or is it one of the other wide receivers? Or not
Mercer? This is their college.
It was one of those Mercer guys. I think it was that Ty James. Is that his name? Ty something. I think he was the guy that people were excited about.
Ty James.
Yeah, I think he was the guy that people were excited about.
Let's see real quick.
You know what was kind of surprising is McLaughlin didn't get like one of the bigger payouts. But he was one of the more well-known of the players that we brought in. The cornerback.
Oh, the guy, McLaughlin?
McLaughlin, yeah.
The Arkansas guy?
Yeah.
What about him?
He didn't. I was watching One Bar and Lupagus one day when they talked about what the UDFA's got paid, and he was like $10,000 or $30,000, and something like that. And there was a couple others that were like Gabriel Murphy was the big one.
Yeah,
yeah, he got a bunch of money, I think.
But I think they also like the
think it
Bo
was
Richter from
Ty
Air
James.
Force.
Yeah, dude, that guy looks like he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be a guy
And
a lot of people are gonna kind of
Ramani
root for.
from Oregon.
Dude, the freaking oh yeah, because that's a big boy, right? But the Navy dude or Air Force dude, that guy's fucking insane. Like his athletic profile is higher than Dallas Turner's.
Minnesota
like
Vikings.
90,
2 years, 2 years in a
9.98.
row. 2 years in a row, military-based school edge rushers who have really, really high athleticism.
Yeah.
2 years in a row with that. Army, or what was it? Army last year with Carter.
This
and
dude's
now
a freaking. This dude's a dog too. This dude's a dog too. I mean, who knows how he'll end up playing, but he's like that. You know, the whole neck roll type of linebacker, like the freaking guy from Waterboy, like freaking, or like Brian Urlacher type of
the guy
situation.
from Waterboy. You mean Bobby Boucher?
No.
He wore the neck thing, didn't he?
He wore a neck roll too.
Did he
Yeah.
too? Who's the guy?
Are you talking about the guy with the cross eye?
Yeah, the cross eye. The guy who's also in like all of Adam Sandler's old movies.
Stone Cold.
Dude,
Steve
to be a
Austin wore
friend
that
of Adam
too.
Sandler means like you're gonna get paid for the rest of your life.
Yeah, you're
I
just
mean,
set. You're just set up. I don't know if
Happy
he
Gilmore too in production, right? Or at least,
yeah. Yep, Happy Gilmore too. Be interesting. I heard that they
I
want
really
to try to
hope
get.
I really hope they bring in Tiger Woods. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I heard they want to bring him and Daly in there, John Daly. That would be cool. I feel like for sure John Daly will make it into that. There's no way you can't. You have to have John Daly in there. I'm surprised he wasn't in the first one.
he might have been like in rehab in the first one. It's like,
Yeah, who knows where the fuck he was at? Dude's a fucking
dude,
legend.
Dude
though.
talks
That's
about
for
how he can drink a case of beer in just one sitting and stuff. Like,
Hell yeah.
God,
Yeah,
my
he's
idol.
a machine. Yeah, he's a fucking machine. Just goes out there with a pack of cigs and a fucking 12-pack, and I mean, he hasn't.
watching
played
him
very
and
well
Kid
recently,
Rock
but
do interviews together is ridiculous.
they're like best buds.
He's like out of the
They need to-
Kid Rock is like out of the two of us, I'm the sane one.
We need a new center. We'll see what's up. Garrett Bradbury.
Maybe Juergens is it. Maybe Juergens is
Yeah.
that guy.
We'll see what happens. I'm sure Bradbury will for sure start. I don't see him being on this team following this year though. I'd be
Bradbury?
surprised.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
I'm still surprised he's on the team now, but he had not last season, but the season before, he had a pretty solid season actually. And then he got hurt towards the end, and I think he came back and went back to his old self or whatever.
Yeah, well, he had the back injury. Then he came back for the playoff game, and he did not play well.
And no, he did
It
not
was
play
awful.
well at all.
It was one of his worst games.
Yeah, it was not pretty.
Just ever,
And then
so.
they,
Hey, but
Sign
at least,
him-
I mean,
sign
I
him
guess
off
we
a
can
good season,
circle
kinda
back
like
to this
Daniel Jones.
since we kind of talked about it right in the beginning of the show. Is just, but I mean, big plus though is getting at least having Risner in there for some depth. I guess kind of circling back to that. I guess we never really. Where are you guys at? Like, what did you expect Risner to come back? Because for me,
No,
I thought that was
it
all
I thought
over
the
with
dream-
at
I
this
thought the dream
point.
was
I
over.
thought
the ship sailed.
so. Yeah, like for sure. Like it seemed like he really wanted to be back, but it was interesting that we weren't pulling the trigger. It
Yeah.
was like, okay, something is wrong with this guy, I guess.
Yeah.
But you guys like him back. I know Dave
Yes.
said earlier he kind of looks at him as depth. more than that Brando will kind of.
And the fact is, I agree with Casey about the protection aspect of a young quarterback.
You want as many solid options as you can get.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
because I think right now he is a better pass protector than Brandel.
Right.
But I like Brandel.
Yeah. And who knows with Brandel, he could. I mean, it just kind of the fact that we took this long to get Risner, that we didn't make any moves for interior offensive line during free agency until, in the draft, where we drafted one finally in the 7th round. It does kind of have that feeling like they must believe in Blake Brandel to some extent for sure. So you never know with a player like him. He could be a breakout candidate for this.
Right.
Year,
well, then especially a day after your offensive coordinator is basically saying he's like the starter or the front runner, right? If he comes out the day before, he's like the offensive line. We're all still working through things, Then you resign, and then you're like, okay, someone ain't doing their job, and they're making a change here. But the fact that that he's kind of like
they must not like the depth,
right?
Because they've seen the rookie camp, and then they got a couple OTAs in. They must not like those guys they brought in. Which I mean,
most fans
most
fans aren't thrilled with the starting unit, let alone just the depth in general. But talking about offensive linemen can kind of segue into something else here too. Did you guys hear what Darrisaw had to say today about? I
was just going to say
about Dallas Turner. He basically said yes, a lot of his stuff he's quicker than Daniil sometimes, and he's like he made a move on me, and I'm just like, holy shit. So so far he's got
about 40 pounds later.
He's got the Christian Darrisaw stamp of approval.
Putting that clip in our next.
Well, he does run a 4. He does run a 4.47.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Tristan.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you brought up Darrisaw because, I mean, last year we were talking about Justin Jefferson getting extended. Darrisaw's eligible. Why aren't we talking about Darrisaw getting extended?
I think they said that there's been. I saw a report today. Maybe it was Purple Persuasion that put it out there that there's been initial dialogue, but no one expects a deal to get done this offseason. They said it'll probably be next year.
Because he's going into his fourth.
He's in his fourth year right now. Yes, and I think did they already decide, or do you decide after this season to pick up the 5th year option? I think it's the year before their
they picked up. They already picked up his 5th year.
Yep. So I think it's
So he's in the same situation as Justin Jefferson was in last offseason.
Yep, and I mean, and honestly, if you're Darrisaw, I wouldn't sign a deal now anyway, because you want to see what the offensive tackle market's going to do. Because signing a deal now is how Daniil Hunter got into trouble. He signed a deal early.
He has been injured.
Well, right. So basically, it feels like a real he's betting on himself scenario that if he stays healthy for a full season and he plays the way he plays when he's healthy, he's going to break the bank. If he comes out this year and has another, misses another 3-4 games due to injury, then the team can take that against him. So this really feels like a big
0 Pro Bowls
betting on himself. Right. If he gets a Pro Bowl this year and he stays healthy. Plays all 17 games.
He just needs to stay healthy. That's it.
And he's right. And he's one of the best, because if he stays healthy, he will be one of the best left tackles in football.
I mean, that's a good point, because if
he wants
the risk, the reward is he plays the whole season, doesn't get hurt, makes all pro.
Yeah.
And then
you can ask. Then you can ask. You get to demand your price. You're not negotiating.
And on the Vikings side, if you're the Vikings, then are you trying to get a deal done so you can get him?
Well, that's the thing. I think when they say initial dialogue, obviously, I think that's the Vikings reaching out, and you'd have to think it's his representation saying nah. And then especially since it's such a pass happy league now, left tackle is probably the 3rd most important position on your offense, behind your quarter. Might be 2nd. Your quarterback, your left tackle, and your wide receiver. That feels like top 3 to me, right?
People argue
so having a guy like him at your left tackle, if you're his representation, you say, no, we ain't signing anything until next year. He's betting on himself, and we'll talk next year. I think that's if I'm him, that's the way I'm thinking about it. Because you're not going into a season thinking, I'm going to get hurt this year. You're going into it thinking, I'm going to play the best ball of my career. That's how you have to play. So I think it's definitely something that I think it's his side saying we ain't doing that deal this year because we know the left tackle market is just going to keep growing and growing.
And like you were talking about earlier, I mean, if he doesn't get injured for this whole year, he could have his best year. Ultimate, and arguably he could end up being a Pro Bowler. And at the I think skill wise, he's top 5 at his position, but his injuries is what kind of screws that over. But I mean, there's a chance he could end up even coming up all the way to top 3. I mean, there's definitely times when he's healthy where he's the best tackle in football. So,
right, for sure,
you got to bet on yourself on that point. But at the same time, you have dealt with a ton of injuries,
right? So that's the give take. Do you take the money now? at a lesser deal, or do you go into it thinking like, F it, I'm staying healthy this year. I'm going to play the best ball ever, and I'm going to be paid like a top 5 left tackle in this league. That's the way you got to go into it.
And you got to be like, obviously, that's kind of players we want anyways. Like, you want to bet on yourself. You don't want to just be like, oh, what if I get hurt? You know?
Yeah.
Which, hey, everybody, if you're watching right now, there's more people in here than there are likes on the video. So make sure you take a moment, click that like button.
Hey. And if you like the video and subscribe to both of our channels, GG Sports Podcast and Minnesota Sports Talk, and put hashtag Skol in the comments, you can win this JJ McCarthy rookie card. Michigan still waiting for his cards to come out in the Vikings jersey. So for now, we got to go Michigan. But get those hashtag Skols in the comments and like the video. We'll give this card away at the end of the show, and you got to be here to win.
In this used notepad. Giving the used notepad.
The most exciting part. No one cares about the cards. It's all what random item Dave can find in his
Microsoft. Microsoft Server 2008. Back when I worked for Dell.
Dang, that's 2008. That's
vintage.
That's got some
vintage.
Yeah,
notepad.
You got some vintage notepads, bro. You don't just.
And they're sticky. And they're kind of sticky. I mean, it's 2008. They're kind of sticky.
They're kind of. You should have just said that they were sticky.
They're sticky.
You just lost some value on it. Yeah, they're sticky. They're the most sticky. They're the most sticky.
They're tackified. They're tackified.
Yep. Can I win your pocket lint? Nah. Nah, I'm keeping
and
that.
They're made by Bic. Bic Sticky something or other. There we go.
Where have I heard that?
Bic Sticky. Bic Sticky.
That's what they call them. Kidding.
I knew a Vicky who was sticky.
Yeah.
Vicky, if you're listening, please. That's one of my best friends.
Yeah.
Hey, help me buy new headphones. Super chats are available. Super chats are available. Help me buy new headphones.
Honestly, I always thought you wore them on purpose like that, so you had one ear free just in case you needed to listen. I always thought you like purposefully had one like off your ear.
No, for a long time they were broken, and then I super glued them, and then now they're broken again. Some guy gave me shit the other day in the comments.
What do you say?
Tell him to listen to the content, not stare at your headphone.
What are you doing looking at my headphones for?
Jamie, is this really JJ's rookie card? It's a
any
of his card. Any of his Michigan cards would be rookie cards, considered rookie cards. So yes, technically, but it's not his Vikings rookie card.
Anything 2023 or 2024 is going to be a rookie card.
Yep. Especially if as the I don't know. Are you talking about the card, Norris? Are you talking about the card you have? I believe I gave you the Bowman first. So Bowman first means that was his first Bowman card. Put it straightforward. But what's up?
And then does it sound like Kyrie Jackson's looking pretty good so far too, right? Like, did I hear he's getting reps with the ones? Or no. He was like because ones were was it?
Yeah, it definitely is Norris.
Murphy and Black
Evans. Black. Shit, I just read his name. Blackman. Blackman was working in.
Last name is Black.
Blackman was working in.
Ah, okay.
It was Evans, and how did it work out? Yeah. What's his name? That we got
gonna be a stud,
in free agency. Who do we get in free agency? Corner?
Shaquille Griffin. Yeah.
So what would happen was Evans and Murphy on the outside, then Shaq Griffin would come in, and Murphy would move to the nickel
inside,
and then Blackman was working on the two outsides spots.
Dude, there's just no way. Like, how do you?
That was their intention last year, but we just didn't have the depth.
You just feel like, I don't know. Don't you feel like Evans? I mean, there should be some real competition for Evans' cornerback spot for sure.
I mean, they are already. I mean, they're putting Blackman in there.
I'm just surprised that they just have Evans out there, kind of number one.
I would be sprinkling in Kyrie Jackson, man.
I'm sure. And
it sounds like they're excited about
that dude.
Too, which I am.
And I mean, what are your takes on? I know what was it? Crown, I think, way up here mentioned. Yeah, right here. they saying seen in Booth? Because this is something that's been coming up like all week or this past week about seeing
like,
in
they
Booth
likely to
just
be
not
butt?
living up to expectations.
he corrected himself after that. He said cut.
Okay, cut. Okay.
Well, I mean,
To
from
be
what
butt, they already are butt, but
They already are ass.
yeah, they
No,
already are.
I don't
the
think
rumor
Booth's
was-
ass yet. Cena has played like ass.
Just
Booth
what's
has not
coming-
played like ass when he's been in there.
right.
What's
But
coming out from camp, like there's just rumors about Booth just not being who knows, they're just rumors,
they
but not
said
being
the
what the
light bulb
Vikings
hasn't-
expected and stuff.
They said the light bulb
Yeah, that's
hasn't
it.
turned on for those for either of them yet. Is the way that they put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you guys take? I think we talked about this before, but
I wouldn't be
do you think they're
surprised.
both going to get? Do you think one of them get cut? Both stay?
It would be really hard for a GM to admit that his first and second pick ever were bus.
But
In his
also, if
third
you're going to do
year,
it,
third year.
don't keep him on the roster just because. I mean, at some point you got to admit your failures and just because you've done well since then.
So
at some point you just have to admit your failures and be like, yeah, they didn't work
And
out.
Evans was that
on my
same
part.
draft as well, right? Evans was the third round pick, I think, right?
Well, it was
Fourth?
Ingram and then Evans. Evans was
Well,
fourth.
Ingram
I
was
think Evans
second.
fourth
Ingram
rounder.
was second
You did-
round pick.
I want to say Evans
That's
was
when we
fourth-
traded
fourth
back.
rounder.
We traded back with the Packers, and then we.
I want to say Evans was
fourth
fourth round, but
I think he was fourth round. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
'Cause
I know we
you're-
traded up.
I mean,
for him.
either way, it's just like, yeah, those aren't. I mean, again, it's all known. That's not a good draft. We know that.
No,
But
yeah,
like
we know
since
that.
then, he's done pretty well. So,
especially this
so we
year.
think.
well, I mean, yeah. At this point, basically,
I mean, we're pretty happy with the
Addison
first round,
fell into your
and I
lap.
like Kyrie
Dude, Addison-
Jackson. That's
Addison's
the
kinda
thing
coming
there.
out of
He
his shell
finding
this
a
year,
guy
I feel
like that, overlooking his,
Age.
being suspended from Alabama. I mean, they really did their homework on him, and I think that was a nice little move because I think he's second round talent. I think Kyrie Jackson was second round talent. If you go look at what he did,
right. Just
We
the
thought-
age,
we
just
thought
the
he
age
was.
scared people away.
Yeah, that's what it was for me. Was just that he's 25.
25, yeah.
So it's kind of like he doesn't have much room for development. It's kind of like, hey, we kind of need you to be good in like the first couple of years. Otherwise, I mean, who knows? I guess you could be a late bloomer potentially, but yeah, there's just not a lot of room
How
for
is
it.
he
But then Buddy
25?
was
that's crazy.
Well, I think he played like a year and a half at junior college.
yep.
Then he went
And then he was
I'm
and I
looking.
think
he
then I
didn't
think
play for
took
a second.
year off.
He went
then
to
he
try
went
to
to
become
San
he's
Diego.
24 right now. He what's his
25
birthday?
at that start of the season, maybe.
August.
Yeah, so I think it was like
Oh,
junior college
yeah.
out of high school.
He turns 25 in August, so you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think it was junior college out of high school, took a year off, and then Alabama and Oregon.
Now the thing is, there was talk about how they were in conversation with coaches were in that room, and they said that Kyrie Jackson was their best cornerback at Alabama, like
Damn.
talent wise.
Yeah.
That says a lot with the cornerbacks coming out of there this year. Dude,
That
he's
was
I mean,
reported.
that guy's he's exactly what we want. First off, I mean, he's big, something we could use big time. We don't have a lot of length, especially. I mean, Evans can be pretty lengthy, but we don't have a lot
This
of
is
length, especially
legitimate
in a
length.
Flores. Yeah,
Yeah.
in a Flores
Yeah.
defense. So that's huge to have him. But he also is he's a dog, dude. He's a dog. That
He
guy-
runs a 4.5, but his 10-yard split's elite.
elite, and even 4.5 at 6. I mean, you're almost in the 4.4s, just 4.5 on the dot, and you're 6'3".
Almost more important is the
200
short
pounds?
area quickness. I mean, you got
Right.
the 10-yard split,
Right,
Yeah.
and you're
right,
elite
right,
at
right.
it.
Well, yeah.
I would like to see the 3-cone drill. If you're like for instance, JJ McCarthy is elite at that. He's like 6'8" or something like that. And anything under 7 is like
Seventh
really
best
good.
in the draft.
Yeah.
Seventh
But
best in
I
the
think
draft.
that was the main
Sixth
gripe
best in the
with
draft.
I think that was the main gripe with him is that his top end speed was lacking, which is something that like I mean, me and Jamie watching Nate Wiggins, like you're not too like sometimes his coverage skills aren't too impressive, but he's able to close if he gets beat deep because he's
4.5.
But
I
also
don't know. I
length
think
helps.
like four. If
Also,
he ran
the
a
length
4,
helps.
if he ran a 4.49, everybody would not be talking about him being slow. Like it could have been
Yeah.
0.01 off.
But that's still in a way short area quickness. Like people are just saying, like if he gets beat, he's not gonna be able to catch up to the receivers. Like that's kind of one of the.
But the
I don't
length
think people
helps,
be
though.
caught.
Well, right, it does.
Length and leaping ability, all that.
I just don't think
means something though.
I think his speed's just fine.
Look, and I think like the thing that makes me feel most like you look back at the 2022 draft, it was Kwesi, and then it was Ed Donatell's your defensive coordinator. The fact that we made these defensive selections this year with Flores here is what makes me feel a ton better about we're getting guys that are going to be good on defense, because Flores, even Blackman, he had a couple mistakes last year, but he looked solid overall, right? So it's just the fact that Flores is here. He has a say in who we're drafting on defense. I think that's the big part for me that sets the Scenes, Booth, and Evans away from everybody else we've drafted since then. Is the fact that
why don't
Flores
I just
is here,
answer
not
this?
Adele,
So Norsefius, I've worked every day since January 3rd. And I did that today and then took my kids swimming. All right. Why are you still talking about Kirk, man? He's not on our team.
Norsefius, are you the YouTube embodiment of Boom Boom Skol?
Yeah, you're Boom Boom. Hey, Boom Boom. Boom Boom Norsefius.
One thing I was gonna say though is so another guy, because I think we're gonna actually, spoiler alert, but when we do a Kyrie Jackson video, a good comp for him was Richard Sherman, who was 6'3", 195, and obviously everybody knows how good he was, and he ran a 4.6. Like you don't see a lot of 6'3" cornerbacks coming in here and running sub 4.4s.
Right. Yeah.
A lot.
But it's one of those things, like if they're a little bit older, I think these GMs are going to find any other reason not to take him high to avoid the age factor. I think that's a big part of it. Like if it's a 23-year-old running that fast or a 22-year-old, they're probably like, oh, this is great. That's perfect. But I think the fact that he's got the age and everything, I think is where GMs get a little more like they're just trying to find a reason not to draft him because of the age thing. And I think that's part of it. Like, oh yeah, his top end speed
that's
ain't
100%.
Whatever, we're going to leave it.
I mean,
not to mention his journey.
It's coming from good coaching, though. You know, it's like,
yeah.
I don't know what he did at Alabama, though. Anybody know?
He didn't do a lot.
I mean, what he did to get suspended.
Oh no, I actually have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
I actually didn't until you said that. I didn't even know he got suspended.
You know, he was he was going to be a professional Y2K or a NBA Y2K player
or NBA 2K.
NBA 2K.
Y2K?
You're good, Norris.
The internet's taking over.
Yeah, no, he was like thinking about being a 2K player, and then he worked at a grocery store in that year and won Employee of the Month or whatever. So
at the deli,
that dude's got he's got that mentality. You know what I'm saying? That's what we want to see. NBA 2K player. I wonder if he was actually really good.
He was supposedly top something or other that was going to go pro. So he had options. I'm glad he stuck it out because I think he's going to get paid more than he would have if he was.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think that was the elite gaming industry. It was playing NBA 2K.
6'4".
Not a great way to make money.
No, unless you become like a personality or something, and then you're able to like stream and Twitch stuff, and then people. I mean, there's some of the most like, what's his name? What are those? What's Kai Connect or Connect or whatever? Like that dude's
Kai Cenat,
freaking massive, and he just started playing video games. Hey, you can go coach the Lakers then. Yeah, they do need a coach. They might go grab our assistant coach, the Wolves' assistant coach. Dude, Savage Game is probably as elite as his ball skills. Yeah, dude, he probably makes a mean fucking sandwich, bro.
Yeah. For sure. Not really a lot to talk about other than that, Vikings wise. I mean,
I went to both schools, man.
Both SDSU,
USD and SDSU.
UWS, baby, let's go. University of Wisconsin Superior, let's go.
Yeah, we went to school in the St. Cloud of the Northland, Superior, Wisconsin.
the armpit of
Well, what's Superior?
of the U.S., bro. Superior, Wisconsin.
I miss the NCC Division II.
Let's
I don't even
go,
know. I don't
let's
even.
go.
UWS wasn't even considered like anything. I don't think we didn't have football.
I think they were considered D3, if that's a thing.
Yeah,
For hockey, I think they're University of Wisconsin, where we went to college.
Yeah.
Let's go, Adam. Yep, get those hashtag Skols in here. But yeah, for Vikings.
Got out of college with Jamie. Is that where you met your wife?
No, I met her at a grocery store.
You didn't get nabbed getting out of that school.
What's that? No,
get nabbed getting out of that school.
No, that's where you met me.
No.
Yeah, you did get married.
Hey, let's go, podcast, baby.
Yeah, you two married.
You two married. Hey, it's working out pretty well.
But
no, I was working at a grocery store where I did not get employee of the month ever.
Or become an NBA 2K player.
Or become an NBA 2K player. Or became a 6'3", 200-pound cornerback that got drafted by the Vikings in the fourth round.
Is he 6'3" or 6'4"? I've seen
6'4". On NFL.com, they gave him 6'4", which I would say is probably they take that rate from the combine. So, but yeah, 6'4". That's what I'm saying. 6'4". I mean, yeah, 200 pounds isn't anything too crazy, but 6'4" and runs a 4.5. I'm like, that's not bad for a guy who's 6'4", cornerback.
Jamie, Casey's lapping you with the background now. He's got those
What's
lights
that?
going. I gotta get lights like that. I just got this thing.
Oh, I know. Oh, dude, I just have
on my desk and point it behind me.
I need to stop moving it all the time, bro. As soon as I settle down somewhere, oh yeah, I'm gonna have like flames.
He's over. He's gonna have
shit.
the Resolute desk.
Crazy.
You know what the Resolute desk is? Got a Resolute desk here. What's the president's desk? There's two made, and one's in one's in France somewhere, and it was made from a ship, and it was a gift given to the president, and that's the desk that's in the Oval Office.
Jamie, the drunken Scotty, met his wife at 3 a.m. at the beer store. Man, the beer store ain't open till 3 a.m. in Minnesota, unfortunately.
Well, it might be in Superior, though.
Do they still?
Yeah.
Do bars close at 1 o'clock still?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, both of them.
Yeah.
Unless I think it's like a fancy.
I remember going to Minneapolis and bars would close at 1 o'clock.
There's somewhere that's 1. I mean, Duluth was 2. Superior's 3, I believe. 3, yeah, because a lot of people would like leave and go to Superior for like the last hour.
They go to Superior for an hour.
Yeah, that's what people do.
We got like areas like it's 4 o'clock in Fort Lauderdale in some places.
Ooh.
Then Miami.
I mean, 2 o'clock's pretty good.
Miami's got 24-hour fucking places.
You just
Miami, Party City,
11
benders.
Most of them are 5. Most of them are 5 o'clock. But then there's the risque / nightclubs that stay open 24 hours. Yeah, there's some freaks coming out of that.
2 and less. I bet, Adam, I have a feeling it's not that hard to bribe you, bro. I know we've partied with Gary. Buddy fed us shots for like we were up till 2 a.m. We were out till like 2 a.m. that night. Yeah, Gary. I feel like Gary's the kind of guy that for sure is going to be trying to convince you to stay out. If I come this year,
I might be by myself, so I might be able to go out.
Did you say if?
I don't have a job, man.
You're
Ubering. I haven't got a job yet.
We gotta get you out there some way, somehow. Some way, somehow.
Uber every day for the rest of your existence until school.
I'm already doing that. And I'm already doing that. My poor freaking car.
Just put in the work on that thing.
Bought that thing.
Anything else for Viking stuff? I mean, obviously, you talked about Risner coming back. There's not much to say there. I mean, I was surprised by the move. I wasn't really expecting him. I thought he would be back for sure earlier in the process, but then thought it was out the window now. But hey, that getting him for at the very least depth, definitely doesn't hurt. Good move by him, by the Vikes there. The Justin Jefferson situation, obviously, that's the next big thing we've all been kind of sitting around waiting for, not sure. I mean, now we're at the point now where there's reports coming out that, for one, actually, we can talk about this, which I thought was straight bullshit right away was that we were going to trade up, or that we were interested in trading Justin Jefferson to move up to grab Neighbors. Which
no, I think this is the way I read it, and I think people are throwing out of proportion. Is that we looked to trade up to get Neighbors, and it was Charlie Walters thinking that follow suit would be to trade Jefferson. Not that we were trading Justin Jefferson to move up, but that would probably be the result if we did go get Neighbors. But it also could mean that we now are super fucking deep at wide receiver. And and throw in the fact that Sam Darnold, they said, gave us flexibility in the draft, right? So I mean, maybe,
but
nah.
I think Kevin Seifert tweeted out like the day after. It's like he basically said he'd been hearing all the rumors about Malik Neighbors. Like none of that's true. They never stopped moving up.
He shot it
because they said after quarterbacks went 1, 2, 3. They said teams trying to move up to 4, 5, 6. Like it really took a nosedive after that.
Yeah. See, for me,
Seifert also says we've improved our quarterback room with Sam Darnold. So I'm like, okay, Seifert.
Yeah, I mean, I can see some of that there. But hey, this is actually I'll come back to this real quick because I was going to say the big thing with that though was just the fact that we offered the Patriots 3 first-round picks to move up to grab Drake May, which I believe is definitely true, it sounds like. But we did not offer Justin Jefferson in that scenario. So it would make zero sense to me that we'd be willing to do that to just go grab. I get what they would do to save money or whatever, but you would give away Justin Jefferson to move up to grab a wide receiver, and you wouldn't do that to go grab the guy that you really wanted at quarterback. Mm-hmm. So that's when I was like, I saw that, and I'm like, there's just no
you
way.
Also got to think, do you think J.J. McCarthy was number 1 on their board, number 2 on their board? You know, they probably put a value at quarterback, like extra value at quarterback. But do you think as a prospect, Malik Neighbors, J.J. McCarthy
could have been higher?
Malik would be higher, right?
I would think so.
I don't think.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. If you got a draft board, and you say, what would it take for me to get to 5 to get the better player? You check it out.
It's
it doesn't
just a big
happen.
Difference between quarterback and wide receiver. Like I
but
don't.
If you're true to your board,
I mean, even on their
have them ranked in a certain way where it's like which play. Yeah, I mean it's.
But plus, during the video that came out with like the whole draft process with Kwesi and everything, like they're talking about like them waiting for JJ to fall and stuff like that. Like
they only show that part of it, but also another aspect of it would be maybe it was a smoke screen because of they were doing to the Giants what they did to us.
So
to find out who they were taking.
That could be
that
could
who
be
they were taking.
Putting JJ.
You know getting at?
Yeah, 100%. Putting Justin Jefferson in there would be a ballsy move, though. Assuming like, hey, what if this comes out? And now, I mean, if that was to be true and that came out, like you can't love that.
Well, I don't see there was any talk of Justin Jefferson getting traded.
If you get up there to get Neighbors, then afterwards in a subsequent move, you're able to look for a trade partner for Justin Jefferson. Was the way that it was.
That's the way I read it. But that was their thought process, not that was talked about.
Right.
And Malik Neighbors, they said was talked about.
Yeah, I took it. I took it.
But again, it could have been a smokescreen because New York took him, right? So. Right. I mean, they were just probably trying to find out if New York was trying to trade to 5 too. That's probably
they probably could have been. This is interesting though. Honestly, should have stuck with Cleveland after all this. I think Cleveland ended up, he ended up playing well.
$10 million a year, right?
I believe.
Yeah, but 3 years, paid. $28 million, $14.5 million guaranteed. Like, I don't know if he's worth that personally.
But he played well. He played. I mean,
he did.
Figured out how to use him better than we were able to.
But I think that was their big thing is get rid of him because they knew he'd be asking for decent money. And
he also played left tackle
money yet, but it ain't going to come close to that on annual average value.
He also moved to tackle, right, for a little bit.
Did he, Ezra?
He played a game. I remember him.
Oh, did he?
I remember him.
Crazy.
I remember him semi bragging to the DN that he was beating, saying, "Hey, this is my first game at tackle." He was mic'd up or they had a mic on him or mic on the defensive player, but I forget who it was. But he said it to the guy. I forget who it was. It was a pretty prominent edge rusher. He goes, "Hey, this is my first day at tackle." Because the guy said, good job. He said, "Would you believe this is my first day at tackle?"
Even though he came out as a tackle, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's why we didn't need Darisaw, right? Because we had Cleveland.
Cleveland was already
kind of settled in at guard.
Yeah, he was already.
But it was always the option if you could move him outside.
But that'd be crazy if he did end up just playing tackle and it ended up being good at it. That'd be wild. Especially, we've dealt with Darisaw injuries, and we never even thought about playing him at tackle in those situations.
But at that point, he was cemented in at guard. Then you're shuffling two positions.
Position. Still, I mean, you could. Yeah, I know.
That's we had what's his name? I already forgot his name. Who was our swing tackle?
Udo.
Yeah, he sucked at right tackle, but he was actually pretty decent at left tackle.
Yeah, he wasn't at left.
Yeah.
Then before that, it was who was the guy that we got from Jacksonville? He was here for like 3-4 years. Hill? Rashad Hill? Yeah, Rashad Hill.
Oh, we did. Yeah. I didn't know we got him from Jacksonville. Yeah, we had him for a while.
I remember him being
he was good at the
swing tackle.
Swing tackle. He was a solid swing tackle.
Yeah. Was he?
Yeah.
Right.
Mafia.
I don't have the memory
dude, JJ, I can't wait till I can't wait till the mandatory stuff comes and the media's there and we can get some.
I love that picture.
Some real feedback.
Skol Mafia's picture. That's my favorite.
Dude, buddy. No.
Wolves in 7, Dylan. That's how we're feeling. Wolves in 7.
Yeah.
That's how
are we feeling about the deals? Oh yeah, Wolves in 7. We're feeling a lot better after last night. That's for damn
feels
sure.
like it should easily be 2-2, but
I felt like we should have swept them in the
fourth quarter.
So
it should have been late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, we're starting to peak. We got 4 people watching. We only got 16 likes. So make sure you're hitting like.
Hey, get those likes in here. Get those likes. We're giving away Justin Jefferson, JJ McCarthy, Michigan rookie card. Waiting for the Vikings ones to come out, but people wanted them, so we got them. JJ McCarthy rookie cards. Get the hashtags, go in the comments, and like the video. Gotta like the video to win. Gotta like the video.
Plus this gem from 2008. Swag.
Let's go.
The old style Microsoft logo or Windows logo.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Hey, get the hashtag Skol in there, Zo. Get the hashtag Skol. Just 14 entries. Let's go.
Remember how you used to make fun like your parents having a shirt that was like 10, 15 years old? I'm living that. I'm living that
life. Shoot, I probably have shirts that are freaking 10, 15 years old. What's up, Vikings, man? What up, Vikings Gaming? Yeah, I got underwear that's like 10, 15 years old at least. They don't know nothing about JJ at Michigan.
I had this Michigan.
That is true.
I had this Michigan fan comment saying Vikings have always been a joke franchise. Don't ruin JJ. And I'm like, I take it you're probably from Michigan. So you're probably a Detroit fan. And then I put the clown emoji.
Dude, it's hilarious.
Like,
that sucks.
We're a clown franchise. There's like so many more worse teams than us.
Dude, the Lions are really going to have to not like JJ McCarthy at some point. I mean, he's going to put a beat down on them. I think I said right before hopping on, I think I saw someone tweet something about just the next 10 years having to deal. The Lions are going to have to deal with him. I don't know. I'm excited.
The roar has been restored for 1 year. JJ McCarthy will put you guys back in hibernation. The Lions hibernate? Do Lions hibernate? Probably not, because they probably they
I don't think they're in the cold.
20 hours out of the day.
Yeah, they live in nice areas.
Yeah, they sleep about 20 hours of the day.
Yeah,
and then they eat the rest. But not Vikings.
My favorite thing is when it was a Family Guy episode and Brian goes to a zoo or something, gets tossed in a lion's pit. He's like, "Hey, it's Thanksgiving, and shouldn't you guys be losing a football game right now?"
Oh, really? That's amazing.
Lions sleep a lot.
I gotta find that clip. I'll play that shit.
You said that was Family Guy?
people have like the screenshots on every Thanksgiving. It's like, shouldn't you be in Detroit losing a football game right now?
That's hilarious.
I hate Mike Florio.
Mike Florio is
Luis
definitely
Gonzalez?
out there, like causing all this drama out of nowhere, as he has been all.
Yeah, I mean, he goes the Charlie Walters thing, and then he takes it a fucking level that's out there.
Yeah,
but I mean, I have to apologize. These guys were fucking right.
The 45 million and everything.
Those guys were right.
No, they ain't right about it. I mean, who didn't? There's been a couple different stories on Justin Jefferson. I mean, I think he kind of started one of like that. There's something like things aren't going well or some shit at one point.
I don't think he was saying he got that. He just feels that like that's his opinion.
Oh, because
I feel like that's his opinion.
Yeah.
I don't think he's saying my sources say, but
he said.
And then of course tweets like other people are taking that and then make it into tweets or whatever.
Well, you take a little because he said he's basically said like I believe that if they keep dragging this out, Justin Jefferson is going to end up feeling spurned, and it was like I believe and I think statements is all that it was.
I think it's more. I'm starting to think that what those people said, and I know not everybody was on when I said it. It's the whole paternity thing. I need to get Boom Boom Skol to do a background check on Justin Jefferson and find out when his court date is, so we can kind of gear up for that speculation.
We need that to just end. I wonder if we'll even hear much about it. It'll probably just be like behind closed doors.
Well, I don't think they're going to put on Vikings.com.
Yeah. Justin Jefferson finally. It was
kind of funny. If this was New York, man, they'd be all over that shit.
Right? No, it's good. We don't need all that extra stuff.
I'm not gonna panic on the contract till training camp starts. That's again, if it gets to mandatory minicamp and he's not here, concern is a little bit like, okay, I mean, he's not here, but I get it. If it gets into training camp, then we have issues. But
if it gets to training camp and he's not there at training camp.
I think him being there would coincide with him getting a contract. So that's
part of the story too.
Yeah.
Is
I'm not showing up to training camp without a deal either.
I've seen two different things. Like it's missing a day is $90K, but someone telling me that he's on a rookie contract that he doesn't have to.
Yeah.
I saw someone say that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But Charlie Walters said the $90K thing. He's been around. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, until if it gets to training camp and he ain't here, then I'm gonna be like, okay. Well,
OTAs, I'm like whatever. OTAs or whatever.
Only one guy's missing OTAs on our team, though, Sarah. Right? Only one guy's missing OTAs on our team.
Jared Allen would never go.
But our team,
Justin Jefferson hasn't
90
been there
players. We got one guy missing, so it's not a lot of players, right?
He didn't show up last year though either. And
right. I mean, he didn't show up last year.
The year before.
He didn't show up this year.
Mandatory is different though. Mandatory is,
but that's different. But it's not as big as training camp though. It's a mini camp. It's not like training camp is where like the red alarms really start going off. But the thing is, other than the speculation, it's been quiet. And when it comes to negotiations, that's good because like neither side is like trying to make the other side look bad through the media and talking about how it's just not coming together. And there was even a report today saying that it did come together. Like JJ was ready last year, but like we didn't get to where we needed to be.
That is a good point.
Look at it. Darisaw is in his position this year, the way JJ was last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's at OTAs. So I'm saying this is uniquely Justin not showing up. It's not anybody else on our team.
Right.
It's not any veterans sitting out.
Yeah, I don't take much of it though. I don't think he didn't show up because of a contract last year.
I'm just saying that whole thing other people are doing. No, not on our team. Just one guy's doing it. Yeah. But I'm not worried.
Yeah.
Because of that. Now, I think he does show up for minicamp. I think he'll be doing one of those things where he's got an ear infection and plays off of the side a little bit.
I could see it. I mean, it worked for TJ. Hey, TJ, how did that ear infection go for you last year? I mean, and like he ain't going to show up to a Timberwolves game if he is eventually going to be asking for his way out. It's just none of it.
I think JJ
took his shirt off and blew the Matterhorn. So I don't know. It's been done.
That's a good point. Gallagher horn. Matterhorn.
Matterhorn. That's a mountain, right?
Inner ear.
Gallahorn.
I bet you Rick Sosa thinks Ayuk looks like Brian Flores. There's I don't know. I think Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
I think
he gets. I don't think
there was the report that
Darrisaw
isn't going to get done until next year. They started talks, but I don't think he gets, because I think he's going to want to see how the market turns out before he signs a contract.
If the season starts, I'll hold hope until if the season starts and there's not a deal done, then it's like, okay, he might get traded at that point.
To me, training camp feels like the one, because you don't not show up to training camp if you're.
Danielle Hunter.
Yeah,
that's not that. I mean, it's not completely different. It's different, but it's not. I think it'd be a problem if he doesn't show to training camp. I think that there's an issue there, but it's not like, okay, it's not like they're not coming to a deal at all. Like if we go into the season,
with a rookie quarterback, you try your hardest, both sides, to get that. With two new quarterbacks, you try your hardest, both sides, to come to an agreement before your prep, because you don't want to start this whole thing halfway through training camp. Then you're tossing Justin Jefferson into JJ McCarthy. So it's a totally different scenario than if Kirk's here. Then maybe it's different. But with two new quarterbacks, like, it's going to be a deal like a.
I don't think
before training camp starts. To me, if it's not at training camp, there's major concern.
To me, I'm
can't show up halfway through. He can't do it. You can't allow him to at that point. You got to get something done.
You should, but I don't know. I'm not saying that it can't get done during training camp.
It's not a good.
It would have to be start of the year for me. If there's no contract by start of the year, I mean, I would be concerned if it's not in training camp. But we've seen players getting contracts during training camp before.
But not a player of this magnitude.
You don't see you're not going to see. And I mean, even TJ Hawkinson, we literally saw him get his contract in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, but it totally two new quarterbacks, totally different scenario here.
I mean, that's a different scenario. Doesn't mean it's impossible for them to get a contract during the training camp. I don't think so. I don't think you gotta.
Because
I think you should try.
Then if he's going to get traded, other teams are going to want to incorporate them into his offense at their offense at that point too.
But it happens. It happens. I don't think you. I think if it gets to that point, I don't think you trade him in training camp. I don't know. I think if he's not there for training camp, I don't think it automatically means like, okay, this contract's not getting done.
So someone brought up the point to me that it's almost impossible to get good top value for him right now.
That's
because one, everybody's contract, and I agree with that. Everybody's pretty much anybody any good. That he's got the situation where they probably let him talk to teams, right, and find the one he wants to go to and try to make out that trade. Hell, they've done it with Kyle Sloter told me that's what they did for him, and he was a freaking UDFA. So I'm like, what, I just that everybody's budgets already, everybody's, free agent budgets blown up, the draft has happened. We're already here. And you have to think about paying this guy how much money, right? It's like his value is not the greatest right now for trade value. It's still good, obviously, but it's just not. I mean, the value would have been last year, right? Trading him last year, but letting him go into his fifth year, you don't have as much leverage. He's looking for the big payday. You don't got a year of cheapness, 2 years of cheapness out of him.
Well, because a team is basically negotiating a trade with you and then having to turn around and negotiate a contract. And it's not like you're just negotiating a contract. You're negotiating the biggest non-quarterback contract in NFL history.
Right.
So it's two major hurdles. Like, we got to give up multiple firsts and pay this guy $35-36 million a year. Like, it's a lot.
Like, Bosa got 34.
Is that what it was?
So, or 30, 33. 33.
33.
So 34 is the mark.
Yeah. And then they're saying he could get at least 35. What up, Too Evil? Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
My thought process was JJ.
The panic button does not need to be pressed. Like, that's where we're all at right now. Like, we think it's going to get done. I think it gets done before training camp for sure. Like, I think it's it's going to get done.
I think it's going to get done soon. Like, hopefully
maybe
like
before mandatory.
mandatory. Maybe I'm just hoping, but it just feels like that's a good spot to do it. So you don't even have to let him miss mandatory minicamp or anything.
At this point, it's money. It's money now because he knows what the team looks like. There's no more questions about quarterback. He knows he knows what we have. He's probably getting reports from
and
coaches.
He should be happy about it.
He knows everything about the team he's signing for the next 4 to 5 years. So now it all comes down to, can they meet on the financial aspect of the deal? And I'm sure that I'm sure each side knows where they need to be. The negotiations have started. Like, I could see it happening soon as well because everything's laid out there for you.
What's going to be ironic is you're talking about his average annual value of being $35 million, which was Kirk's his last year with us.
Yeah.
So our receiver is getting paid more than our last quarterback, or as much as our last quarterback did.
And
that's a little crazy.
He impacts the game more, though, you know.
But I mean, but also now that quarterback
12 catches a game, he impacts the game more.
But now quarterback contract on a $5 to $10 million per year over that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
Good quarterback. It's $55 million.
51 was the last one.
53.
What 53 is what Goff got paid.
Oh, he was second. So he's second
behind Burrow. So Burrow must have like 55 or something.
And what has Burrow done since he went to the Super Bowl?
Got hurt.
Got injured last year.
Starts off 0-4.
JJ McCarthy doesn't get injured. He has bones of steel.
Where Patrick Mahomes is just like, and we won our division. Like, oh, it's playoffs. All right, fine.
Yeah, it's like, all right, time to show up. Yep.
Andy Reid's the GOAT.
He is.
Norris, you can choose whoever you want. If you win a card, you can pick whoever you want to grab it or to get it. I don't know, man. So yeah, anyways, Justin Jefferson, that contract just needs to get done. I think it's going to. I don't know if it will be before mandatory minicamp. That's coming up really close here, but I think I would not be surprised. At that point, you kind of want that contract just to be figured out. Like Casey said, I mean, you're really, really, really hoping it would be done before training camp for sure. Yeah, other than that, I mean, we pretty much hit on everything we probably could.
Yeah.
Again, Wolves in 7, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's
right.
Big. I mean, you come back home, big game
Cat
at home.
Stepping up.
Tomorrow night.
Cat stepping up.
Finally. Aang came back.
He finally stepped up.
Showed up.
2 minutes left. I mean, what's with these offensive fouls, man? I know the first one was bullshit, but I mean, come on.
He needs to stop doing those off. He has some really bad calls.
He needs to be a spot up shooter, and we need a big guy that can handle the rock. Like, we need like a guy that can handle the rock. Like a point forward.
He looks like an uncoordinated gazelle when he starts pouncing towards the hoop, and then everyone just stands there and he doesn't Euro step around him. He just goes right into him.
You said Rudy?
Hit that guy right in the jaw.
Cat.
Oh, Cat.
Yeah.
Rudy is like trying to take Luka out, dude. He's always on Luka.
Rudy was like in grocery yesterday.
I honestly
think that guy in the stomach.
Dude, I think the game plan yesterday was rough Luke up a little bit and get into his head, personally. Like, it felt like that was the game plan.
Even though
he really tried to frustrate him because that gets him off his game.
He was whining like a beach.
And he does it even when he's on.
He does.
His game.
He always does that. It's annoying because
I
like Luka.
I mean,
but
we get technicals for just looking at people wrong, and they fucking scream at the refs and throw their arms up, and they don't get the same call.
Dude, in this playoffs in general, the amount of times the opposing team should have gotten some sort of technical foul or something and didn't is ridiculous. Obviously, with just everything that happened with the Denver those.
Well, I mean, Luka hits that game-winning shot right and starts fucking saying something in Slovakian or whatever language, Croatian or whatever fucking language.
Well, then that foul was wild. Because they took that foul that you can't jump into the
if it's an unnatural shooting motion, which
that was so ridiculous.
But not to mention he pushed Cat. He literally took his arm and pushed Cat away, and then Cat came forward. So I mean, he should have got the foul there too. And then
the ref's right there, and we don't have a challenge, so we can't challenge it.
Well, and like the amount of time, the amount of time that the amount of times Ant drove to the hoop and doesn't get one foul called to me is a little bit like, really? There's nothing there. He's surrounded by 3 guys and none of them hit him. Like,
that was definitely the heat pad, but just the same game with Murray gets the heat. Was it the same game or this Murray gets the heat pad and does the money thing and gets the same. He did the
for the money thing.
He
did the fucking air pistols.
And then
the air pistols right after Anthony. Right after Ant. A little bit later, after Ant got just for looking at a guy, backing up and looking at a guy, he gets a technical. That guy spins around on his ass and just finger pistols at Cat, and he doesn't get a technical.
Yeah. Hey, you guys better stop. We'd be out right now if it wasn't for Cat. I mean, we probably would have won more games if Cat stepped up earlier.
If Cat was Cat, we'd be tied 2-2.
Yeah, we'd probably be tied 2-2.
And he was asked the first 3 games.
Without Cat, we would be out without Cat.
Hey, Ant was bad the first 3 games too.
He was, yeah. But now Cat's biggest enemy, home court.
I think he's stepping up
like ass at home, so he's got to step it up.
Stepping up. He's got
to have a big. He's got to have a big game.
We need to do that corner 3 thing. They're hitting like 60-70% from corner 3s. I don't know. Do we got a guy that can do that? Just stand in the corner the whole time?
The Wolves bench is. I think the Wolves bench is relatively deep, don't you?
Well, they're good. We don't have.
Nas
scoring.
Nas played like shit, which sucks, but.
We don't have enough. We don't have if Nas has his good games, if Na has his good games.
Na could play like he was playing during the regular season.
We don't have any consistent scoring on our bench, but from a defensive standpoint and what Na can do when he's on, and what Nas can do when he can score. But he scores like he's a center scorer. Like he can score as a center. That's different than
Anderson
having
that's been playing so good.
Yeah, especially as our bench is
shooter.
Our bench is nice defensively. Anderson, honestly, he's been pretty solid offensively with his little, I guess, like little floaters that he does from his spot. Those always go in. Otherwise, you don't have a guy that is going to be hitting threes really, unless he has like 10 minutes to do it.
Well, I thought he
had a couple nice threes in the first
game.
Yeah, he did, but it takes him like 10 hours to fucking shoot one shot.
It's
but still, he's stepped up big time because he hasn't really shown up much in playoffs. But this series,
my favorite player for playoffs is Jaden McDaniels. Like to me, if McDaniels can take this and just push this forward into the rest of his career, you got what you paid for there. That's his biggest thing. If he could just have a little bit of a scoring presence.
He just in what he's doing scoring is nice, but man, all we need from him, and like he's creating his own shots recently, which is really nice. But being able to just have him make his threes, that is just a massive difference maker on this team. 100%, dude. So I don't know.
What did I tweet at you the last turn on the last series? Something about Kirk. I was like, I blame Kirk for that one. It was a loss.
But also there's been games where all 3 of those guys have played well, and our guys have played like shit, and when we lose by 2. So I mean,
yeah. I don't believe that at all, McCarthyism. If Cat and Ant played well those first 3 games, I think we win
at least 2 of them. Probably,
I think we win 100%. Like your 2 best players on your team were what, like a combined 10 for 50 or something, or like something crazy. And Luka and Kyrie
went off, right?
Yeah,
and
game
well
and parts of game.
We still had the lead going into like 2 minutes left.
This is what I tweeted at Game 7. No
I
way,
think it's
Kirk
the
Cousins.
opposite of what he said.
This is what I texted you. No way, Kirk Cousins beats the Nuggets in Game 7.
No way. Nope. The Wolves are taking that. I think the Wolves bench, scoring wise, defensively, they have a good bench. If Nas is playing well, and especially if Nas and Na are playing consistently, then our bench is more than fine. We got the better. I still to this day, I think we have the better team. We just have not played good basketball until yesterday, which wasn't even perfect. We haven't seen the same team. Tons of turnovers. We haven't seen the same team.
We've been allowing them to dominate the paint. That's the other thing too. Like they've been,
which we should, which is crazy.
Right.
That's I don't know. I think if we and we kind of proved it yesterday, I think. I guess Luka didn't have that bad of a game. Kyrie had a bad shooting night last night, but Luka did not. Earlier on a little bit, but he came on. But I do think if Kat and Ant are playing the way they're supposed to, and Luka and Kyrie play to their best ability, I think we win. I think we win those games, just because I do think we are way deeper than they are. Like, you can't tell me the Mavs bench is deeper than ours. You can barely. We've watched 4 games this series, and a lot of you guys probably can't even name a player off the Mavs.
One of the things is that Luka goes to the bench and they come back on us.
Yeah, that's that's the same thing with the Denver series. Like we lost the non Jokic minutes in the Denver series, and now we're losing the non Luka minutes in this series. Like
it's scoring. It's freaking scoring. Last time was bad because yesterday's game, Nas, he went down, like we were up by like 8 or whatever. Nas had 2 bad intercepted passes, and then
that seems to be a thing too. It's like undisciplined passing.
How many turnovers did Anthony Edwards have, man?
Right. Yeah. Well, and Anthony Edwards, like, we win game 3 if it's not for Anthony Edwards with that, that high pass. What? Because we were up by 2 possessions with like 30 seconds left, and all he had to do was dribble out the clock and find an open shot, and he passes it to someone, goes out of bounds, and then
in this last game, he goes down with like 15, 18 seconds on the shot clock and throws one up.
I think the hero ball finds his way into his game a little bit, and like he's been better about it.
Yeah, but the reality with that is he's that guy though, so he's gonna have to take those shots. He needs to be the one to fire up and take. He got the dagger in that game because he went up and hit that.
This last game it worked out.
Yeah, but that's his game.
It worked out earlier It worked out earlier in other series, but not the first 3 games of the series. It wasn't there.
He's unfortunately with it. Well, not unfortunately, but he's going to be the guy who's gonna. I mean, he's only 22 years old, and he's got a lot of learning to do. But he's going to be the guy who's going to try to win you the game. And that's another thing too. People will say that, but then at the same time, everybody's complaining because he only put up this many shots tonight or whatever. So it's like either people complain if he's not being aggressive, or people complain if he's being too aggressive. With Ant, you just want he is always aggressive. You'd rather him be always aggressive is better than him not being aggressive enough. We're not going to win any games with him not being aggressive enough.
Right. Which was people saying the problem like game 2 or 3. Like, it's just he just wasn't like, and he said it himself. He's like, I just got to start. I just got to go.
Well, game 1 for sure. I think he only went into the paint like 3 or 4 times. He was obviously exhausted that game.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But they're figuring it out. I know with this game they started off with him covering Kyrie, and then this last game they had him against Luka, and then they had Jaden against Kyrie. Kyrie ends up with 1 and 6 for his 3 points or whatever. So I think they figured that out. So hopefully it's enough for us to win in 7. You know what I'm saying?
Like, defense is never sexy. Like, like everyone wants to see scoring. Watching Jaden play defense is so much fun. Like, he's just sticky. You love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes he plays great defense. Rudy, he makes impact. The thing with him is you just think he wouldn't be able to get dunked over all the time. Like these damn freaking.
And he does the tap outs. He doesn't get up there 2 hands rebound the ball. He tries to tap it. Like, just go. You're taller than everybody else here, man. Just go freaking rebound the basketball.
That's another thing with this game is saying lucky, but man, the Mavs, the ball goes when they miss a shot, the ball always goes exactly where they want. We got 3 big men out there sometimes, and they have
all those
1
offensive rebounds off,
and they still get the offensive rebound, and which is part of our you'll see Kat and Rudy there under the basket, and somehow Kyrie will jump up the one under the basket and punch the ball out to one of his players. It's like, how does that happen? You guys are like 3 times his size, and there's 2 of you. Cat is the biggest problem on this team. No. Dylan. He's not the biggest problem. That'd be the biggest problem would be crazy. He needs to become
a role player.
It's sad for Cat, and I'm part of the because it's sad for Cat because it's basically the fan base's feelings on him is literally game to game, right? If he has a good game, people are like, okay, good for you, Cat. If he has a bad game, they're ready to pounce on him. And I'm one of those people. Like, I'll give him his flowers when he plays well. When he plays poorly, I'm like, you're a max contract player, 9-year vet. Oh, he led us through the Denver series. Like, cool, but you can't disappear in the Western. And he's never been there before. I get that, but you can't disappear in the Western Conference Finals.
You can't.
And the reason
that
I give Ant a little more like leeway is because of the age and because of the lesser experience. Like, I don't know, people like, I mean, Cat's a max contract player. You can't disappear in the Western Conference Finals.
But at the same time, I mean, they should have had some of these games won. But elimination game. Kyrie's never lost an elimination game.
Neither of this year's Wolves, right?
Yeah,
this year.
And yeah, exactly. And now you have Ant steps up in this game, for sure, and then Cat, especially at the end, steps up in a huge way.
I'm confused.
So, I mean,
Kyrie hasn't lost an elimination game. He's won
against another team who are in elimination.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
I
like
get
against
that.
a team, like eliminating another team. He was 14-0 until yesterday, and then now he's gonna.
Now he's gonna finish 14
because I was like, if he lost an elimination game, he would have won the NBA championship
every single year. No, I wanted to paint my guitar tonight, but you guys come on. Hey, you'll have time after. Mavs, dude, I don't like, who does the Mavs have on their bench that we're talking about here? Like Jaden Hardy, PJ Washington. I mean, PJ Washington, I think that's part of their starters, right?
He starts, doesn't he?
Yeah, he starts. I mean, that's their starter.
I mean,
you got Hardy off the bench, if that's what you're talking about.
I mean, they got Lively
Lively coming off the bench is nice.
Game 3. If there's anything Cat did in Game 3, it was going to the nuts first and the headset pushing him out of Game 4. Like,
players.
I love it.
Lively's looking good.
He
should not be doing that. Gafford's a starter.
But one of those is a starter, the other one's the backup. Yeah, they platoon.
But I mean, we got
Lively's obviously.
We got Nas. I mean, I don't think their bench is that special to me, in my opinion. Even though we should be playing better against them still.
You see, what's that picture off to your left?
That's Chris Carter's 1,000th reception. Ooh. It's hard to see. I know. I got to get a different mic stand that shows more.
Well, it's also in black and white.
No, it's not. It's colored. It's just really old. It's just really, really old.
Okay. It's an heirloom.
Who is their Nas? Keebler. Who is their Nas? I don't think so. He is not their Nas. Are you a Wolves fan? Sally McCarthyism? You must not be. Has been injured. He did not look good yesterday. That's for sure. He is not their Nas is 6th man of the year. That dude wasn't even in the conversation. He got injured in the beginning of May. So he hasn't been injured this whole year. He's not their Nas. Nas is literally 6th man of the year. How can our bench be terrible if we literally have 6th man of the year? And both the Wolves when I had dreams that night before. Hey, Sarah, you better keep that up.
Do that again tonight. Let's go.
You better keep that shit up, Sarah.
I think our problem is like players playing within themselves and not getting ticky-tack stupid fouls.
Yeah.
Like if Cat doesn't freaking try to drive and get offensive fouls, if I don't know, Rudy, make your free throws late in the game, man. At least one of them, but miss 2. It's like, but I don't know. If you're gonna be a big man and be physical, you need to make.
Yeah, I'm not scared of these guys. I'm not scared of Exum and Green. I'm taking Nas and easily over there. I'm taking Kyle Anderson. Maybe not from a scoring standpoint. From a scoring standpoint, you might have a point. But if you add defense to this, Wolves have Nas. I mean, that's pretty much all they're using. Yeah, I'll give you that. They're only using them. But I mean, they're using Green, they're using Exum, and they're using Hardy. And then you could say Lively if he wasn't injured, and keep. I guess they're using more than us. I'll give you that. We're not really seeing much. Players. What's that?
I mean,
we're not using.
We're not
8 out of 12.
Yeah, we're not.
Like it's
because we're not using. What's his name recently? Who hasn't played that well? What's his name that we picked up?
I'm not gonna pretend to know anybody else.
Yeah, Monte Morris. We haven't seen much Monte Morris.
It's weird that Morris hasn't gotten more minutes.
I wish we saw some Garza. Like, obviously you're not going to do it now, but you should have put him in there like earlier in these series.
Next year we need to do a Wolves show.
Good.
I know we were talking to Rat mentioned that for like a second, but I'm like, if we did that, it'd have to be like one live stream. I'm not even making regular videos. It'd be too much time. But I would do one if it was like once a week, a live stream. I would do something
like after a big game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've been using our live streams towards the end of it. Now I'm like, all right, if any of our teams are like in playoffs and stuff, at the end of our live streams, like, fuck it, why not talk about
and then
it?
we'll get it like the Wild to be in the playoffs and be like,
I wouldn't know what
they
to
have
fucking say.
Kaprizov.
They
Go
have,
Panthers.
They have
I'm like, go
Kirill
Panthers.
Let's go, Dylan.
Capital?
That's what I'm talking about. Oh,
Who the
dude,
hell
I
did
mean,
Kirill
Today, the Panthers.
maybe the Wild will get more exciting once all those contracts are up and they can get some better help potentially.
They will. They got their star. They got their star. They just got to build around him.
Yeah,
Twins are
Dallas Stars, man. Ever since the North Stars left and went to Dallas, the one team I hate fucking seeing is Dallas Stars.
and they're always in. I know they've won a ship. I mean, the Lakers, the Dallas Stars. Man, it's brutal over here. We're desperate. We're dying here for a ship. Dying here. I put $10 yesterday. I put $10 on the Wolves before the game. I put $10 that the Wolves win the finals for plus 4,000. No, plus 4,000. Yeah, plus 4,000. And after the game, it went down to plus 1,200. After the game.
Hell yeah.
So let's go. That's like $400. If I had real balls, I would have put like $1,000 on it or something. But I ain't that confident. But with Anthony Edwards, you never know. If Cat's hitting his threes, that's his.
Oh, the Panthers won. So it's 2-2 here in Fort Lauderdale or Sunrise, Florida.
Did they already play
tomorrow?
Oh, wait. The Panthers are against. The Panthers played yesterday. Yeah, they're against
Rangers, but they're 2-2. They went to the NHL finals last year, Stanley Cup finals last year. We had both the NBA and Stanley Cup down here.
Just Florida teams win it. Tampa Bay and Florida. Yeah.
Floridian.
Wild. The Minnesota Wild, the hockey state, just can't.
It's so weird, man. I have no affinity to the Minnesota Wild at all. None.
They weren't so bad last game. I mean, Ant was tired for one in the round one. I mean, coming off of game 7, and then 2, Kyrie. It looked like Kyrie wore him out quite a bit, but it is true though. I mean, they are rotating more players than we are. I think that's a fair point.
What is with Morpheus and the way I look? I don't get it today, man. Dude,
it's the swimming.
I'm old. I don't get much sleep. I working my ass off. I just was in the pool. I mean, sorry, man. I'm sorry.
No worries. Can't be sorry, bro. He's sorry.
I'm also fat. Okay? Don't make me stand up.
Don't make. Oh God.
And this thing. You want to make fun of this thing?
Oh man.
Anyway,
7 now. Yeah.
After this, I got an interview with Skol.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. We come out tomorrow.
Okay. Everybody tap into that for sure. Wolves rotate, go Bearcat.
Lasagna.
And Nas Anderson now. Yeah, that's pretty much right at this point. They could use some more. Rotation. Though, I mean, you haven't seen tons of minutes out of those other guys. You've seen more out of them yesterday from the Mavs.
Well, because who else do they have? They have.
Keebler came back or whatever. Lively, you see a lot. Green. Yeah, Green. You do see him. You see Hardy. PJ Washington's a starter who hasn't been playing well. I mean, you're probably seeing like one other guy getting any real minutes.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting if Lively comes back and they still play Keebler or whatever his name is.
Yeah. Anyway, should we give away that card?
Let's do it, everybody. JJ McCarthy, Bowman, rookie card. I think the first versions of him in a Vikings jersey and as well as Dallas Turner, I think those are supposed to be coming out somewhat soon, so hopefully. It's 11-8. Let's see. I need to fact check you on this. Let me see how many minutes these guys are getting. But get those hashtags. Yeah, I forgot to say that part. Get those hashtags goals in the comments. Like the video if you have not already. We'll give this card away pretty quick here. Got to be here to win. That's the only rule. Get those hashtags goals in the comments. Surprised we didn't see much TJ. So Dwight Powell got 3 minutes. I mean, Dante Exum and Dwight Powell. I mean, that's minutes though, but they got a combined 7 minutes of playing time. But that was just yesterday's game. I swear we didn't see all of them in the other games.
I just noticed you're painting on the back of US Bank Stadium.
Yeah, my parents got that for me. Pretty cool. Well, wrong way.
And they're not using a lot of players too much, but they're using more than us, that's for sure.
It's one of those like.
I'm on Royce Lewis watch now.
Royce Lewis
I know,
watch. He's in St. Paul, right?
Let me be. Hey, there we go. There we go. All right, let me pop this up for y'all. JJ McCarthy, Michigan Uni.
Okay, big winner coming up.
19 entries. Let's
Not bad.
go. Let's
You get
go.
one more to get it 20? One more to get it 20, anybody?
Big
One more to
winner.
get it to 20.
It's still a lot left. Still a lot left. Vintage.
Just a one every show. Tim Hardaway doesn't play. Come on. Yeah, why isn't he? Has he been? Is he hurt? He was playing earlier in the series. All right, I'm giving this away.
It's also autographed by the Purple Hulk.
Ooh.
Purple Hulk.
What about your hats? I think Casey said his is up for.
This is my favorite. This is my favorite hat.
Damn.
It's the Miami South Stars.
Yeah. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Who's the winner tonight? Boom. Missed it. There we go. Who we got? Tonight, is it gonna be Zoe? You gotta be here to win. I know Zoe wants this one. Boom. Nighttime. Nighttime, you won recently, right? Nighttime, are you still in here? Oh, you gotta be. You just put it in here. Nighttime. Mime is the winner.
Man. Congratulations.
Let's go. Hey. Let's go. I already have your information through email and stuff, I believe, right?
Send me your address. I'll send you the notepad. I'm kidding. I'm not sending this.
Just costs like $5 just to send.
$5 to mail.
Mail
a 50-cent notepad.
Just a losing.
I'll Venmo some money so you go buy your own.
Yeah, you have to buy the shit. Yeah, you got to pay for shipping for this notepad. Okay, yeah. I got your information. I'll get that card out to you, brother. But yeah, I mean, I guess, mandatory minicamp coming up here shortly. Hopefully we see a lot of good things come out from JJ McCarthy. Hopefully JJ Jettas gets his contract extended, and hopefully actually the Wolves will win in 7. And we get to see my first championship, my first finals, championship, anything.
Hopefully when you see us on Monday on our live stream on GG Sports Podcast, we will be saying we got to get off soon. The Wolves are playing Game 7.
Yep. Oh yeah, dude. Oh, if we make Game 7, Monday's podcast is going to be fucking lit, dude. Yeah, it is going
to
win
one game and we win one game and the fields are back.
Oh yeah, I know immediately. Hey, I just feel like we can be. I'm like with Ant. Like, what did Ant say? Like he's like, I still feel like we can't lose to these guys or something like that.
Well, then what did he say? He said yesterday, like he saw Micah Parsons at the game and he saw he was wearing some AE1s and he's like, what size are you? I'll bring some for Game 6. He's like, what am I gonna say? Yeah. We're gonna lose? Hell no.
No.
By the way,
This is
post-game
different.
I love how nonchalant post-game press conferences are. I like literally Ant just yesterday. It's like Conley's old as fuck.
Yeah, I know. Conley's old as fuck. He calls him bite. I still
They
don't
can just say
completely
whatever the hell they want.
understand that.
I absolutely love it. Like I love just how like non-professional those things are. It's hilarious.
I saw Twins both game 7s. Lucky.
Yeah. I wish.
I'll
man.
trade for Wentz.
but
Wentz.
hey.
I'm not sure he's going to make the team, but I would easily trade for Wentz to get a.
But like
for the
so far
Wolves.
this last year, we've seen some good things. We saw the Vikings
Might have taken
score
Wentz over
33-0, biggest comeback in NFL history. Twins broke the biggest playoff losing streak in baseball history, and now 1-155 in when this team goes up 3-0.
And
We're all
wasn't
breaking records.
was 12 games
Let's
in a
go.
row their record
For
wins and Twins?
eight losses, 18. Oh no, this year. I was talking about breaking the playoff losing streak.
I know, but
also
that's just another thing.
Yeah.
They had 12
That
wins
was
in a row.
Was that a record for them?
That might have been.
12 straight. I think they
Pretty
said I
good.
think they tied it. I thought.
Oh, they couldn't finish.
I don't know. Well, yeah, because I
fucking
went to the
finish.
game. I went to the game that they broke the streak at. So
Oh,
my bad luck
fuck you, Casey.
You went to the losing
You were the
game?
one. Jamie, you were the one that said, "Hey, if I make it in time, you want to go to the Wolves game tomorrow night, on Thursday night?" Like, yeah, that's a smart idea. Let's bring me to.
I know. That's why we're
mean-
not going. I'm just kidding. I wanted to. I fly into Minneapolis at 6:45 is where I'm supposed to land, and the game starts at 7:30. But I was like, I gotta get a rental, and then I just feel like parking is
Make
going to
it
be a hell down
downtown.
there,
A mess. Yeah.
and then you're paying $150 a ticket. I don't know. I wanted to really bad. I feel like I'm going to regret it if we win.
Let
obviously.
me answer this. Sam Darnold is physically more gifted, but Nick Mullins is a better quarterback in his career. That's my answer.
Damn.
8 yards per attempt compared to 6.5. I mean, God, I don't know.
True.
And he knows the offense, so I think he's got a leg up. But he has the better arm. He's taller. He's
This is Sam
more
Darnold's
mobile.
breakout.
He's physically more better than any of our quarterbacks, but he hasn't put it together yet. We'll see.
Yeah.
I like the fact
Asian
that
Markets
he did
also.
go play for San Francisco, and that's one of the things they brought up is how they like the fact that he got to learn under a coach that teaches quarterbacks. So that's good. I like that. So it gives him a nice little transition into hopefully productivity.
Yeah, I mean,
And I've said this. I hope Sam Darnold plays awesome, never gives the job up, and we
Yeah,
win a
that'd be a
Super
good thing.
Bowl.
Yeah.
That's how I treat our quarterbacks.
I mean, yeah, I can't complain about that. I'd rather it be JJ McCarthy just because for obvious reasons. But if Darnold ended up like just being that guy, great.
Fuck yeah. I'm like, JJ,
Not
sorry.
counting on it. Not
Sam
counting on
Darnold,
it.
sorry, JJ. Sorry, JJ.
Yeah.
You're not playing on this team.
It is what it is.
We
It
really
is what it
only
is.
drafted you to make Sam Darnold pissed, and
Yeah, we only
light a fire
drafted you to
under
light a
his-
fire under Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Oh, Sam Darnold gets
Interesting
hurt.
strategy. What up? No, stop.
Jaron Hall jumps in and wins us a Super Bowl. Fuck, Jaron Hall.
Yeah,
That's
Jaron
the
Hall's
dude.
that
Let's
guy.
go.
Whoever wins us a Super
him.
Bowl is just that guy. Pay him now.
Jesus.
but anyway, anything
All right,
else?
yeah. I think we're good. Wolves in 7.
Wolves in 7. Well, thanks everybody for hopping in. Obviously, a little bit of Vikings tidbits to talk about the Timberwolves. So hopefully
Risner
we're
is
here
back.
next week. Still talking about Timberwolves basketball. Be a lot of fun. But
Yep.
awesome. Thanks everybody.
Thanks
for
everybody
hopping
for hitting like.
in.
Good job.
Did they do it?
Let's
did,
go.
did you
Oh,
get? Did
there's
you
like
get more than
22
15?
now.
That's pretty good.
Hey,
pretty
let's
good.
go.
But
All right,
anyway,
everybody.
thanks everybody for watching. See you guys next time.
Skol Vikes.